There's this guy, Engineer Muhammad Ali Mirza, as well. He's actually read out a lot of these stories from Sunni scholars' books as well in Pakistan.
Oh,
like
I've heard of
Muhammad Ali Mirza.
Engineer
Yeah,
Mirza.
yeah. He's big time, but
he's non-sectarian, isn't he? He doesn't go. Yeah,
he's on the topic. But so a lot of these people have actually narrated the story from Imam Abu Hanifa. Have you heard that story? I mean, have you heard that Imam Abu Hanifa story? So there, apparently, this is written about Imam Abu Hanifa from one of his own students, that there was this kid, and he was very pretty, and he came to.
Okay, we do not endorse any of this.
We're not endorsed. This is purely a historical context and just explaining it to what
your channel's gonna get nuked. What we need to.
No. This is written in Imam Abu Hanifa. No, but it's not explicit.
This is history.
It's not explicit. Okay, just get it. I'll say it as vaguely as I can. So there was this guy. I would say guy, okay, and you know the definition of guy in Islam, the age of a guy in Islam, you know that. Okay, so there was this guy who was very pretty. So Imam Abu Hanifa, he comes to Imam Abu Hanifa and he says, "Oh, Imam Abu Hanifa, I want to learn Islam from you." Imam Abu Hanifa takes a good look at himself and he says, "Oh no, he's so pretty." So he says, "You know what? Go away, learn so and so and so." So Imam Abu Hanifa thinks that okay, that would take him couple of years to understand or learn that, and then he would be put off by that, and then he wouldn't come back to me and test my iman.
That's my faith for people who don't understand.
Yeah, test his faith. So he goes away, but he comes back within a month or two, and he says, "Oh, Imam, I want to learn Islam from you." Imam Abu Hanifa is like, "Okay, damn it, what do I do now?" So he said, "Okay, you know what? Shave your head." So he gets his head shaven, and then he puts him behind a pillar. So when Imam Abu Hanifa, this is one of the four schools of thought, Imam Abu Hanifa. So when he's looking at his students, he can't see this pretty student who's sitting behind the pillar. That is written,
official.
This is 100% official. Engineer Muhammad Ali Mirza has quoted the story. Maulana Ilyas Qadri has quoted the story, and I have told this story multiple times on my Urdu channel, and a lot of Hafiz and a lot of these people have commented and justified the story. He said, "Yeah, so what? You know, he removed the temptation from his heart. That's why he put him behind the pillar."
I mean, technically, they're right. Technically, Islamically, he didn't do anything wrong. Yeah, Islamically, there's nothing like if you actually listen to what conservative Muslims say, is like there's nothing wrong with you having same-sex, gay temptations. In fact, having gay temptations, having somebody who is like homosexual, provides you an opportunity to get closer to God. Because the more wrong temptations you have, the more close to God you're gonna get when you suffer through not giving into the temptations. So if you're gay, great, you're gonna suffer. Not giving into your gay temptations, and that's going to bring you closer to God. So Islamically, there's no contradiction here.
That's fair enough. But because homosexuality is so bad and evil in the world, in the eyes of Islam and majority of Muslims, my point is, would they be okay with the fact or with the knowledge that they're one of the biggest imams who ever lived, scholars who ever lived, had gay tendencies?
I mean, they should. I mean, if they are truly a conservative, they should be okay with it because they look. He had gay desires, and he.
But that's not how they see it, Imam. I mean, but that's not how they see it. You know.
I know. But if they are truly principled, they should be like, "Yeah, I'm actually proud of him because look, he's not giving into temptations, even though he has those temptations."
Well, maybe one day he slipped up and he said that, maybe I need to kill my ego.
But do you know the Muslim world, right? The Muslim world, it has a thingy in this. Basically, for example, in 1858, I don't know if you guys are aware, the final caliphate of Islam, the Ottoman Empire, decriminalized homosexuality, male homosexuality in 1858, long before the Western world, and that
was not because okay. Yes, true. That's true. But that's not because they were being, Muslim. Equal rights or not because they were like being tolerant. Okay, that's because there were just too many pretty boys to have sex with. Like, they were trying to allow something for themselves, not be considerate to human rights and gay rights and stuff like that.
No, I agree, but it's like, from an Islamic perspective, that would be punishable by death.
Okay, yeah, but you're not talking. The caliphs in Islam is not like the Pope in Christianity. Okay, they were. I mean, if you look at what the caliphs used to do, they did. I mean, most of the things they were doing were not Islamic. I mean, most of them were drinking wine all the time. You know what I mean? So the caliphs, the ulama and the caliphs were many times opposing forces fighting against each other. So what the caliphs allows is not like a good way to figure out what traditionally throughout Islamic history in Islamic countries was considered Islamic. I'm pretty sure a lot of ulamas were wagging their fingers of that.
I completely agree. Like, for example, in the Seljuk Empire, there were caliphs who were Christians, and they would just present themselves as Muslims, but would practice Christianity in their everyday lives. Yeah.
In Sunni school of thought, okay, the caliph does not have to live an Islamic life. The condition for the caliph is to create an environment where Muslims can do Islam. That's the condition. Like, you don't need to be a pious, or you don't even have to pray. You don't have to fast. You don't have to not drink alcohol. You don't have to only have sex with people you're married to. You could be violating all of these as long as you're maintaining stability for the ulama to do their thing. They were like, okay, stamp of approval. That was their condition.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah.
All right.
We have only 10 more minutes, but I think a lot of people, because ISIS wanted to bring the caliphate back, they think caliphate is something very Islamic. But the caliphate was a lot more secular than the position of the Pope was in Christianity. So that's why, what the caliph does and what the caliph allows is not Islam. Yeah.
Completely agree. Yeah.
To have your questions answered on the next live stream, become my patron today. You can do so with as little as $1 a month. Link in the description below.